笑了分别心相真实，有无常短明显显白，无碍辩才常转法轮，为地显多一言语成，善解脱风处世热闹，知法清凉永洒无明，弘主大乘润自众生，不善种子便功德天，
一切发菩提心，无量大悲
Okay, let us start the session. Good evening and warm welcome to our book masters, Brother Joe Huang, brothers and sisters around the globe to the online book study on the Sutra of Infinite Meanings. Okay, before we start, I would like to share a short excerpted master's speech. Eternal diligence and unwavering great vows. Though the way of expounding the Dharma may differ, yet the meaning remains the same. I'm deeply grateful to all you Bodhisattva on your eternal diligence and unwavering great vows. It brings me joy to see everyone seizing the opportunity in time to return to the spiritual home of Tzu Chi. Looking back, the past cannot be grasped. Yet the spirit and ideals carried forth are truly precious. Your vows and actions, carried out with sincerity and effort, bring forth the true and precious value of life. Accepted by Sister Ho Sing Ching from Singapore, Tzu Chi, Singapore. 感恩 for listening. Okay, now I would like to invite Brother Chin to kindly introduce this session and our presenter. Over to you, Brother Chin. 感恩.
感恩 Sister Lily. Okay, good evening, brothers and sisters. I'm Chen, and I'm standing in for Brother Robert. Been requested to do so in the last minute. So firstly, I would like to apologize that I'm not wearing my uniform. I'm currently actually in Hakone in Japan, so I'm traveling. So if I may, just to introduce you to this episode 4 on the Sutra Infinite Meanings, which will be shared by Brother Victor, Brother Jay, and Sister Janet Yao. Both of them are residing in the US. They're originally from Taiwan. They also do a lot of work in Beijing as well. And so they do a lot of sharing on Saturday, while in session in the morning, and so they don't need any much introduction, and most of them, most of you are familiar with both Brother Victor and Sister Janet. So episode 4 of the Sutra Infinite Meanings, and this is very much about the virtue of giving. So in this adaptation, Sutra adaptation, in episode 4, it's about Avalokitesvara. So who is Avalokitesvara? Avalokitesvara often is a Sanskrit name for Kuan Yin, and here where Master has drawn her inspiration from, which is the thousand hand, thousand eye Kuan Yin Bodhisattva. Now, some of you may know that Kuan Yin Bodhisattva has also been described in chapter 25 of the Lotus Sutra. That is the Universal Gate Bodhisattva. So he answers, what does Kuan Yin means? Kuan Yin means contemplating or listening to the sound of the world. What the sounds of the world, cries of the world. So that's what that great compassion is. So in the thousand hand, thousand eye Kuan Yin, Kuan Yin, or the manifestation of that form, to me is the most powerful form of Kuan Yin. So Kuan Yin has 84 forms. Now, why is the most powerful? Because it's thousand hands and thousand eyes. So the hands represents a hand of compassion and the work that we do, and that's his action. So that's virtues. But what about thousand eyes? The thousand eyes represent the eye of wisdom and being seeing. So that virtues will have become a wisdom. Now, in the Sutra adaptation, there are two cases that are being mentioned. One is the first recipient of Tzu Chi, which is this the lady called Lin Zeng. And she went to Taiwan looking for a husband. Unfortunately, her husband has then passed on. And she stayed on, and despite all the challenges throughout her life, which you will hear later, she adopted a daughter, and then and unfortunately she was an untimely death. And then later on, she even adopted a granddaughter, and that also affinity didn't work out. So she was left all alone, struggling in life, went through a lot of suffering. And that's where Tzu Chi played a very big role in helping her. And in its early years at that time, we would have to raise money, obviously, from the 50-cent bamboo bank, which you all know about. There's a second case. It's about this lady who is blind. And again, went through, you can hear later on the story, that she went through so many challenges in her life that very unfortunately, she took her life. And this was something that has left Master with a very heavy heart. And this is the story about the two cabbages that some of you may be familiar with. So without further ado, so I will pass on to Brother Victor and Sister Janet. They will be doing the sharing. Now, this sharing is being pre-recorded, so I will let Sister Lily will play out their sharing. Sister Lily?
Yeah. Okay. Okay, before that, let us pay homage. I have missed that part. Sorry about that. Let me share the screen. Okay. Brothers. Okay, please rise. Palms together. Let us pay homage to the triple gems. First bow. Second bow. Third bow. And a bow to our beloved abode masters who could join us today. Okay, I shall play the recording.
Dear Master Zeng Yan, about the Master, Global Tzu Chi family, and the online listener. I'm Jenna Yao. My Dharma name is Tzu Ya.
I'm Victor J. My Dharma name is Ji Yong. Today we are attending the meaningful event of remembering Brother Seng Hang, and our topic today is Charity is the root of Tzu Chi. Charity is the root of Tzu Chi. We start from the topic of love at Tacloban.
Sakit ng dengue, ngayon walang-wala ang bahay. Kaya community! Kaya!
慈济重大灾难都有蔡生行的身影，带队发起义工代赈，用活力与智慧让赈灾更有效率。
Brother Michael Shell, Deputy CEO of Tzu Chi Philippines, peacefully passed away on June 2nd, 2025 at 7:49 a.m. Though his time was brief, his life was rich, filled with compassion, wisdom, and tireless service. Raised in Tzu Chi's value, he grew from a dedicated Tzu Chi youth to a leader in the humanitarian efforts. His most notable work came after Typhoon Haiyan 2013, where he guided over 100,000 survivors through cash for work programs, offering hope amid devastation. While his passing brings sorrow, his legacy remains a guiding light. In death, he becomes a silent mentor. His pure heart and selfless spirit inspiring all who knew him. As Master Zeng Yan reminds us, do not worry for him. He will return with a healthy body to serve again. May he walk the Bodhisattva path in every life. His light enduring in our hearts. With a brief video clip reminding us of that Brother Senghang's great effort during the Typhoon Haiyan and the scene of farewell ceremony to Brother Senghang, his spirit is with us.
The first part we should cover is the reason why does the Tzu Chi emphasize charity. It all started from our master Zeng Yan, who started Tzu Chi with just a few disciples of the herd. The picture was taken during the first anniversary of the association. The picture was taken in front of the Pumin Temple. Implementing the spirit of the compassion and the helping others, Guanyin Bodhisattva hear the cries of the suffering and offering help with the 1,000 hands and the 1,000 eyes. The Tzu Chi founder, Master Zeng Yan, is the root of this belief. Charity is not just a concept. It is about putting this compassion into the action through the human effort.
It's not just about reciting Guanyin's name or praying for blessings, but about acting as a Bodhisattva in human form to help those in need, emphasizing that compassion must be manifested in action.
Tzu Chi people are 1,000 hands and the 1,000 eyes Bodhisattva. The following Tzu Chi song meaning about the 1,000 hands and the 1,000 eyes Bodhisattva. Let's listen to the song and pay attention to the lyrics.
生命别去，因为慈悲让生命宽广，因为感恩让生命欢喜。
Thousand Hands comes from the legend of Guanyin Bodhisattva's thousand hands and a thousand eyes, symbolizing boundless compassion, universal salvation, and omnipresent helping hands. World referred to the suffering world we inhabit. It suggests that when everyone is willing to take action, the world will be filled with more love and hope. This song embodies the Tzu Chi spirit of starting with me, transforming small love into great love. Unity and collaboration, not one person accomplishes great things, but thousands of people contributing one small task. The strength of Tzu Chi lies in everyone's aspiration to be a bodhisattva, with tiny acts of kindness coverage to form an ocean. Let love flow. Let compassion endure. Love is not simply an outpouring of emotion, but actions guided by wisdom, saving suffering, alleviating suffering, and bringing joy. This is a core belief of the entire song. Tzu Chi members vow to do good for all beings, and the power of their vows becomes the driving force. This echoes Master's teaching. When vows and actions unite, bodhisattvas are present in the world.
In 1960s Taiwan, poverty and a lack of the medical resource were widespread, leaving many families in dire strait. Tzu Chi charitable work directly addressed this societal need. In the 1960s and the 1970s, building a hospital in the eastern Taiwan region was considered economically unprofitable.
What charity activity does Tzu Chi undertake?
Tzu Chi's four primary missions stemmed from its charitable work, but charity remains its core. Main activity include the Tzu Chi's four major missions are charity, healthcare, education, and humanity. Charity is the foundation of its mission. It starts with the helping and the caring, and further inspire this in hers the in goodness of the everyone through the teaching the rich and help the poor. Tzu Chi for major mission have gradually developed from the local charity work to an international NGO.
Helping impoverished and sick families by providing emergency relief and medical assistance. The earliest Tzu Chi poverty relief work was to have committee members visit poor family and save a little money from their daily meals, pooling their scattered love to help others.
30 housewives become a first to respond and save the 50 cents of the NT dollar every day. Through this, they accumulate strength, and together they help an old lady, Lin Zeng, live in the farmers' markets on her own. In 1937, her husband came via the sea from the Zhangzhou, Fujian province to Taiwan to seek living. Subsequently, as there was no news from him, Lin Zeng, a very brave woman, also crossed the sea to Taiwan to look for her husband. Unexpectedly, the husband has passed on. Through the Tzu Chi first home visit record, is evident that the Lin Zeng longing for family affection. After her husband passing, she adopted a son, but he died young, and her daughter-in-law remarried. Hence, she adopted another great daughter. However, she ran away from home at the age of 17, and there was subsequently no news of her. At this time, Lin Zeng already 80 years old.
So she was penniless and was no longer able to take care of herself. That time, when Master Zeng Yan opened the door to Lin Zeng's house, the Tzu Chi Buddhist Merit Association had not been established yet. Tzu Chi commissioners who sent meals to Lin Zeng to take care of her daily living. Tzu Chi hired a doctor to assist with the treatment, provided a monthly subsidy of 1 bushel of rice and $300 in cash, and hired someone to cook for her and take care of her daily life from May 1966 until the old lady passed away in February 1970.
The claim that the first free cleaning started on September 10th, 1972 in Hualien is a specific example of the free cleaning origin, not a definitive the first in a global history. In 1972, the Tzu Chi Merit Association Free Cleaning for the Poor was founded in Hualien, Taiwan, which elegance with the date and the location mentioned. The purpose, the cleaning provide medical service twice a week, those who could not afford health care. Established Tzu Chi Hospital, started with the Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital in 1979 because helping the poor often involved medical issues, making medical care more equitable and accessible. Tzu Chi had already been providing charitable service for 10 years at the time. However, Master Zeng Yan realized that besides the impoverishment, Hualien also suffering from a severe lack of the life-saving medical care, so she firmly decided to build a hospital.
In the era without health insurance, very often when one person fell ill, the whole family would be impacted. Lu Dangui is a living example. Let's see the story of Lu Dangui from Master Zeng Yan.
接下来过无偌久啊，又有一位是送医的个案，是青公案，30通岁的查某人。虽然有先生有囝，先生啊的收入真有限，迄当阵青公案啊，根本都无法度治疗啊，何况讲吼家庭真贫困，这呢？是咱接医疗的第一个个案。迄当阵，咱甲送去到罗东去开刀呢，但是这是无法度。虽然用袂少钱哦，但是呢，等来目睭所看到的呢，坐伫迄个医刀的头前，问伊讲：你现在目睭会当看到啥物物件？伊回答我一句话讲：师父，我只是呢，敢若看到一个圆的影字语尔定，其他拢无啦。哦，真正是吼，心拢规个冷落去啦。伊来甲我说多谢的时候，我就徛真我讲：啊，你有看到我的面无？伊讲吼，只是敢若安尼一个人的懵懵。迄足失望的呢， 人有病吼，那个救不起来吼，花那么多钱吼，真的那个时候呢，很失望。这个家庭呢，当然是我们在救济他，因为呢，先生在报社哈，是伫咧救济的工人啦。那孩子呢很小啊，那这个妈妈呢眼睛都看不到。我们的委员的孩子就跟他的孩子呢是同学啊，所以呢，他这位委员的孩子回来跟妈妈说出了这个个案。那我们的委员到他家去的时候呢，看到的就是这样的一个女人来对安尼吼，她鸟鼠安尼在伊面头前走来走去，都唔知呀。这种的一个家庭吼，所以下了一个决心，就是说，这个妈妈那个以后吼，囝都看活啦。所以因为安尼呢，是不计一切吼，把她送到罗东去开刀，但是呢没有成功。那所以我们呢继续帮助他，到了一段时间了后吼，感觉到讲啊，可能安尼伊也较稳定啊啦吼。那么这穷也穷的吼，也是有稳定的时候啊。病也是，在这当中来应该心嘛较应该是差不多吼，因为呢，人总是到了久了以后呢，总是会习惯嘛哈，目睭无看总是会习惯，所以呢。那个时候我们救济的资金就是很缺乏，所以刚刚讲安尼可以啦，就暂时呢都给停了啦吼，就是这样造成了我一生的遗憾啦。这是个停落来了后，过3个月后，这个女人呢自杀了，这是一个很令人心痛的。我们花了那么多钱帮助那么久，为什么她会自杀？就是说。3粒高丽菜，因为呢平常都无通吃。那先生呢买3粒高丽菜，伊懵懵的吼，感觉真欢喜。今仔日囝啊，互伊食一个吼，安尼较足咧，啊，互伊菜食较多咧。所以呢，3粒高丽菜拢总甲煮，一次煮完了。高丽菜饭嘛，啊，拢甲煮去呀。当然那一餐饭吼，孩子吃得很开心啦。但是呢，先生回来，转呢吼，干嘛？伊讲吼。你唔知影，我这3粒高丽菜是要互你做啥？你一顿都甲伊煮完啊吼，那后顿要安怎？你唔知影讲哦，迄趁钱的人的艰苦，你安尼吼，拢袂当帮助我，反倒转来呢啊，等等啦，讲了很重的话，所以这个女人呢就这样想不开了，就上吊吼，自杀。这就是一个这个故事呢。让我永远都是很心疼。那所以因为这样子开始，所以我们委员呢，每3个月呢，一定要去复查一次。
Master realized that in addition to compassion, charity work requires wisdom. When we care for a family, we must review the system. We need to revisit the family every once in a while to see if their life has improved and what help they need. And through this interpersonal caring, it can provide warmth and strength to the care recipient. Master understood that charity requires warmth and, more important, assistance. The case of Lu Dangui started the review system of Tzu Chi's home visits. It also laid the foundation of Tzu Chi's home visit for the next 50 years. At this time, the charity mission of the association seemed to see infinite Dharma doors revealed in front of it.
Related to the charity, Tzu Chi's educational program are related to its charity work by providing a holistic approach that include both academic and character development. From preschool to the university, Tzu Chi began providing scholarship because poor children couldn't afford education, developing a comprehensive education system to cultivate compassionate and skilled professional.
Tzu Chi's international disaster relief effort, including providing emergency supplies, financial aids, and long-term rebuilding assistance to victims of natural disaster in over 100 countries. The Buddhist Tzu Chi Foundation also offers emotional support, and its initiatives extend to medical care, education, and environmental protection. Tzu Chi provides immediate assistance during major disasters such as typhoon, earthquake, and tsunamis.
The Tzu Chi volunteer spirit is characterized by the selfless compassion rooted in the Buddhist principle and driven by the core value of the gratitude, respect, and love. Volunteer put this value into the action through the humanity and social service, disaster relief, and environmental protection, often inspired to give back even after receiving help. The spirit is one of the dedication, where the volunteer give their time and energy to help the others without expecting anything in return. Volunteer embody the spirit of the 1,000 hands and 1,000 eyes. Everyone can contribute to good deeds, amplifying the impact of the charity.
So how did Tzu Chi begin?
The Tzu Chi Bamboo Bank story began in 1966 when the Master Zeng asked 30 housewives to sell their daily grocery money into the bamboo bank, donate about 50 cents each day. The humble practice of accumulating the small amount of money with the intention to help the others inspired of the foundation of the Tzu Chi Foundation, which has grown into a global organization providing aid for the various humanitarian cause. The Bamboo Bank continue to be a symbol of the daily kindness and a reminder that a consistent small action can create a significant change. The Tzu Chi Bamboo Bank story and the tale of the 1,000 hands and the 1,000 eyes Guanyin Bodhisattva share a core message about the power of the many small, compassionate action created a vast collective force for good. The Tzu Chi story serves as the modern human-centric parable that makes a profound significant part of the Guanyin accessible and achievable for everyday people.
Tzu Chi is an international humanitarian organization founded on Buddhist principles that provides aid and service to people in need, irrespective of their religion, ethnicity, or ability to pay. Charity is not limited to Buddhism. It emphasizes sharing in others' suffering and sorrow. The statement is correct. Charity is not exclusive to Buddhism. The Buddhist teaching emphasizes sharing in the suffering and the sorrow of others through the concept of compassion. This concept involves a wise motivation to relieve the pain of all sentient beings and in a core ethical principle in Buddhism. Charity in Buddhism also includes broader acts of generosity beyond material givings, such as kind words, good deeds, and providing opportunities. From small acts of kindness to large-scale compassion. Initially, it focused on small-scale poverty relief in local areas. Later, it expanded gradually, evolving into the international humanitarian relief organization it is today.
Okay, summary.
The Tzu Chi Foundation value charity because it embodies the principle of compassionate service to the world as taught by Buddha. They started with a simple act of saving 50 cents a day to help those most in need. The core of Tzu Chi's charity is responding to suffering and alleviating hardship, not just religious belief, but a global movement of poverty relief, medical care, education, disaster relief, and volunteerism.
Okay. Thank you
Thank
for
you for your
listening.
listening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, gotten so much appreciate to Sister Janet and Brother Victor for those great sharing. Now, let's go back to the Sutra Infinite Meanings. And as you all know, the Sutra Infinite Meanings was a teaching given by the Buddha before, it's a prelude to the Lotus Sutra, which contains 28 chapters. And that's a description of the whole Bodhisattva path. Now, the essence of the Bodhisattva path is about going among masses. So the whole our life walking the Bodhisattva path is dedicated for the benefit of others. So in this particular episode, episode 4, the analogy was drawn upon thousand hand, thousand arm, Kuan Yin菩萨, or Avalokitesvara is the name in Sanskrit. Now, the two things to this that Brother Victor and Sister Janet have shared, that obviously in the episode 4, there are two cases. One is on the recipient called Lin Zeng, who went from China to Taiwan looking for the husband, and found out that the husband has passed on. But she stayed on and adopted a son, but that son unfortunately didn't live long. And the daughter-in-law remarried and left, and she was all alone. And then later on, she adopted a granddaughter and ran away from home at the age of 17. So nevertheless, they continued, and Tzu Chi continued to help despite limited funds that we had. But what is important to note is the collective action that is being taken up by Tzu Chi through the Bamboo Bank and through all the volunteers that came along. Now, the second case is this non-recipient who was blind. Despite all the surgery that has been done, unfortunately, that didn't help. So this recipient, Lu Dangui, now, despite trying to relieve her pain and suffering, and Tzu Chi, despite all the limited funds that we had, we continued to help her. But unfortunately, she passed on 3 months after they stopped funding. And the reason was because of the cabbages. And she thought that because there were a few cabbages there and cooked for the children for one meal, when her husband came back, was obviously very angry and found out that the cabbages that he bought wasn't meant for 3 meals, but he cooked all in one. Because she was so sad, and she took her life. And since then, so there's a wisdom to that. The wisdom that we learn from that is they started home visits. So that's why in Tzu Chi we have home visits that we do at least every 3 months. And obviously there are other home visits that we have taken on. So that's virtues. The first story about virtues, the 1,000 hands. The second story is about the 1,000 eyes, is about the wisdom learning from that. So I will now open up the platform to whoever would like to give their insights, the sharing about this episode 4. So if I may, anyone who would like to just jump in.
Hi,
Anyone?
brothers and sisters.
Right, it's some sister from Zambia.
Yeah, Sister Erica from Zambia, Lusaka.
Excellent, come. Yes, please go ahead.
I would like just to talk about the story of cabbage. The first time I heard the story of cabbage, I felt so touched because normally when we are doing home visit, we only look at one-sided. We give out the meal. We don't even know what's happening to the person. Maybe they are dying inside. They've got so many suffering. They want to talk to someone. Because I know sometimes it's not about the food. Sometimes it's about communication, the affection. How is the person? Is there suffering? What does that person need inside the heart? So the story of cabbage, it's really real up to now because we had the similar case here in Lusaka. One of the volunteers of Tzu Chi, she was so suffering very much. We couldn't even notice, but she can come to preschool, help cooking, do everything with the kids. Soup kitchen, she fetch water, she cooks. But we didn't know it was just one morning Sunday. We heard that she hung herself with a wrapper. Everyone was shocked. What happened? What happened? Then the son said she used to fight a lot with the elder son. So the elder son almost took the knife and stabbed her. So she felt so bad and she felt so guilty that I can't provide for my family. I'm suffering because she was living in a house whereby it was, people are poor, whereby a door it's just broken. There's nothing in the house. She sleeps on the floor, but she also have time to come to the community and do the work and also show love to the gogos and to the kids. So to me, when we witnessed the same story, it touched me. So we said, no, at first, before we do home visit, we should have someone to check on the people first, to ask them question. How is the situation at home? Is this meal enough for you? Or you need medicine, or you need care, or you need counseling, or you need just a hug? Even a handshake, even just a chat, it really matters because this story of cabbage, it's happening now. It's not just the time of when our master Chen Yen started. No, even this present day, it's happening. So we must look into it. Make sure when we are doing home visits, we look all the corners, all the dark corners. We make sure everyone is safe before we give out something, before we fetch water or clean the house of the person. We must make sure we emphasize on looking on people's heart first. We check, is there anything right? Is there anything wrong? Thank you so much.
And then so much for the really touching sharing, sister. And rightly, quite very rightly, you pointed out when we do help, when we engage, even in our own prayers, it's about bringing our hearts together. Bringing the hearts together is to understand the hearts of others, and I can't so much. And I think I really appreciate it in your particular case to actually document it, and that it will let us learn from all the sharing that you have experienced. So that's a great experiential learning. All right. Anyone else would like to share your thoughts and insights to that episode 4? Okay, so if not, I would like to actually call upon Brother Joe. He's going to give his insight. We got another 15 minutes to this, and so Brother Joe, the platform is all yours to share your insights to episode 4. Obviously, about walking on the Bodhisattva path and thousand hand, thousand eye Kuan Yin.
Yes, thank you, Brother Chin, and hello, brothers and sisters from Africa, from our Zambia brothers and sisters, and also I think it was Sister Erica who shared earlier. I think you said it. I think just like what Brother Chin and also Brother Victor and Sister Janet said before, the root is in charity. But it's not just what we do. I think Brother Chin mentioned that the Bodhisattva, Guan Yin, I think was very important in that Guan Yin's name was not just to look, but also to hear, but also to realize and to observe. You have that many eyes. The focus is not just to look, but to look deeply, to look everywhere, to find out, is it really helping? To find out what really helps you and what really doesn't. And I think when Sister Erica shared the story where the sister hung herself, I think that is something that when I hear about that, I think that's absolutely, it's a tragedy, but just with anything, I think it gives us more to learn. What can we do? Can we do something to avoid it? And I think that was something that Master Cheng Yen also learned from, in that, what could we have done more? Could we have done more so that something like this could have been avoided? And I think that's what, at the root, it's not just charity. So today's episode 4 is talking about charity being the root. I think it's not just charity. I think it's compassion. Charity is the things that we do because we care, because we have compassion. And when we have so much compassion, we are going to do more than charity. We are going to see closely. We're going to observe closely. We're going to hear closely. We're going to do everything more carefully. So charity is just something that we do, but at our heart, it's actually compassion. And I think that that's something that our master taught us well, in that it's not just the things that we do, but do we show our care in our mind? Do we care enough to put somebody else in our heart? And I think that was the heart of compassion. Do you have somebody else in your heart? Somebody other than your family, somebody other than your loved ones, somebody other than yourself. Can you put these people in your heart to care, to think about them, to figure out what they need? I think that's what Master taught us. That is compassion. And Tzu Chi's 4 missions, the core is charity. In the charity mission, the core is compassion. And in compassion, the core is, can you have other people in your heart? Can you put them in your heart like the way you put your loved ones in your heart, the way that you put yourself in your heart? And Master Cheng Yen demonstrated that she can put everyone in her heart. And that is why she always tells us that many people ask, Master, why do we love you? Why do we love you so? Master says, because before you know me, I already loved you. And that is how Master put us in her heart. We didn't even know who Master is, but we are already in her heart, in her love. Many of us here right now online probably never seen Master in person, yet her care and her love reaches to you through many, many volunteers. She cares about you even though you might not know her. And that is the core of her compassion. So once again, Tzu Chi's work, the core is charity. Charity's core is compassion. Compassion's core is, do you have other people, this world, in your heart, can your heart be big enough to have all these people? Or is it small enough to fit the people that you really care, your family, your friends, yourself? And that's the core of compassion, having everything, and not just people, but all living beings, animals, everything in Master's heart. And that's why we love her, because she loved us before we even know who she is. Thank you thanks to Brother Victor and Sister Janet for sharing with us episode 4. And thanks to Brother Chin for leading today's discussion. And thanks to all of our brothers and sisters in Africa, for you are showing compassion. You are doing charity, and you are putting all these people in your heart, just like Master put all of us in her heart. Thank you.
Sorry, Canon, so much, Brother Joe. And I just want to add on a couple of points that Brother Joe mentioned. One is the reflection of, I always look at Master as a reflection of Kuan Yin. And that's one. She is. You could draw her inspiration from that. So when Brother Joe mentioned that she already loved us before we know her. Now, that reminds me of the great vow of Kuan Yin. The great vow of Kuan Yin is she will not take Buddhahood until every sentient being is liberated out of all the 6 realms. That's a vow. A vow is you will not take Buddhahood until all the 6 realms are liberated. And that's a great vow. Now, and Brother Joe mentioned about the heart of Tzu Chi is not just about charity, but compassion. So, and Brother Joe mentioned about being caring. Now, before we can be compassionate, we start to be kind, right? Kindness, that's the beginning. But the question is, how can we be kind all the time? So, can we not stop being kind? How do we not stop being kind? And as a question, how can we sustain kindness? So we can sustain kindness by being caring, and that's what Brother Joe is trying to say. So we're being caring. But then the question now is, how can we not stop caring? How can we sustain caring? We need to be helpful. And can we continue to be helpful all the time? We can only do so if we remain merciful. So, and Kuan Yin, it's the goddess of mercy. So, and how can we continue to be merciful all the time? And merciful, you got to be forgiving. You need to have loving kindness, and as Brother Joe mentioned, and that's a love, and that's what Master Chen Yan has demonstrated her love, and that's what she's trying to inspire us in doing this. And it's only from loving kindness, and we have infinite loving kindness. Only then we have that compassion. So there's practically 6 levels for us to grow, to sustain from being kind, being caring, helpful, then only merciful, loving, and being compassionate. So thank you so much, Brother Joe, for that great insight. And now, can I request everyone to open on the video, if we can take a group photo for today's session? All right, who is our official photographer here? That's Sister Lily, I guess.
Okay, I'll take the photo.
Yes.
Okay.
So please put on your compassionate smile.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Cảm ơn. Taken already.
I can see Sister Erica smile from ear to ear. A smile is free, and it's the world language.
Yes.
Okay, and everybody understand that without a single word spoken. All right, so Ganan so much, everybody, and we only left with 3 minutes. So if anybody want to say anything, last words from anybody.
I just want to say this Stephanie here. Cảm ơn so much, Brother Chin, for wonderful hosting. And I just want to say a very big cảm ơn to Sister Erica for her deep insights and for her sharing, because we really learned so much from our Africa's brothers and sisters. Cảm ơn so much.
All right, excellent. Okay, thank you so much. So as we close, if I may, we offered 3 bows to the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha. So if I may, the first bow of reverence to the Buddha. Second bow, devotion to the teachings. Bow with gratitude to the Sangha, especially to the masters in the abode for all the teachings. So now we have 1 bow to the abode masters. Bow. All right. So, Kanan, again, so much, brothers and sisters. Thank you for joining us. And I apologize again for not being in uniform. And I'll see you whenever I see you all again. Yeah. All right.
All right. Bye.
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 Bye-bye. Thank you.